Hey, 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 Mark Assert. Good morning on this illustrious Wednesday. It is the 14th of October. Mark's message, Peachtree Corners, peachiest place on the planet. And with that, here we are, sales concepts via Mark's message. And this is part two of prospecting. And if you remember, we were talking about, do your salespeople have a database or a territory that perhaps, it maybe, just maybe, it might look something, if you were to go through it and say, hey, does it look like this? You know, kind of desolate out there. It's destitute. Can tell this house hasn't been lived in for a while, hasn't been used for a while. It's an abandoned house, obviously, right? That's what we got there. So is that what it looks like? Or have they decided to decide uh, in their own mind, if you take a look at this, what's prospecting? This is kind of what I always think about when you talk about prospecting to me, somebody digging away and going for it. And you can see right here, it says, you never know how close you are. Never give up on your dreams. Well, same thing applies to prospecting. Look how close this gentleman is here. And this guy's gone for it. And he's like, ooh, it's probably like less than a foot, man. And he's there at his payday. And, prospecting is a process. When I think of prospecting as well, I think of this. These are breaker boys in a mine, believe it or not. Something my grandfather did back in the day when he was about the ripe age of 10 years and, to keep a house. But, what would you do? I guess is my question here. What would you do, folks, if you knew you couldn't fail and, you're going to call on some accounts. And you also knew that somebody was going to pick up on the other end of that phone and somebody was looking for you to help them. So, when I talked the other day about, what's prospecting, 8-touch proactive prospecting system is what we teach. And, I'll be more than happy to share that with you. As you can see this here, and we can go up this way and take a look at it. I'm not going to give you all the tips and tricks of the trade, but I just wanted to share that with you. And essentially, what you're talking about is a process like prospecting, qualifying, questions, listening, presenting, handling objections, closing. This is all part of this 8-step process that we incorporate into our particular sales process. But when you look at prospecting, do you treat prospects according to their behavioral style to maximize opportunities? So you can miss out on a lot of different things. What I'm going to do here is just give everybody a reminder this morning, as we're venturing onward in our day. But do not forget that today is the day at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. And it is for $139. It's pure engagement. And I just wanted to share this with you this morning. Feel free to go to our website, salesconcepts.com. Check it out. You can call me. There's my phone number, 678-624-0895. Feel free to give me a call. Even if you're looking at something else, when you venture onward, take a look at our particular website. The point of all this is, and I'm just going to say this, whether you go virtual, whether you use Hippo Video, whether you get on LinkedIn, whatever the case may be in terms of some sort of technology out there in virtual land, sooner or later, you are going to have to engage with somebody. And this is just a short, abbreviated version. And you're going to have to pick up this thing called a telephone, right? You are going to have to do that at some point. You just can't be sending out subliminal messages virtually. just doing live stream, which I think is fantastic, you know, or sending out hippo video, sooner or later, you're going to have to pick up that phone and make a call. You're going to have to engage with somebody. Even if you want to go like Zoom, go to meeting, that's another way you can go, because some people do prefer, hey, can you just call me? And they want to have a conversation, and you have to know how to engage. So the whole intent purpose, I think why people are hesitant to prospect is because they're afraid. It's that fear, the false evidence appearing real. They don't want to pick up the phone. They don't want to have a hippo video, or they don't want to have a Zoom or a go to meeting type approach. Excuse me. So, with all that, think about it. Is prospecting essential? And point being, and I said it yesterday, how do you fill up a glass if you have no water? Okay. How do you develop your pipeline if you have no prospects out there or potential customers? I just want to know how you do that. Sooner or later, you're going to have to develop some sort of system where you have clientele in your CRM or whatever you're using out there. So, with all that, once again, I'll just say that prospecting to me, and this is just my humble opinion for what it's worth, is very essential in the sales process. It's probably the primo. And it's like I'm going to go back to baseball. It's the fundamentals. It's the ABCs, and you've got to do it. If you want to look like Charlie Atlas, it doesn't happen virtually. You got to go in the gym and do the work. All right. So if you want to develop a prospecting list or your database, you're going to have to go in there and do the essential work, put in the work, make the calls, you know, and as you develop, yeah, I'm all for using those virtual tools. What I'm saying to you is whether it's virtually in terms of live streaming, whether you're going to use uh, Hippo video, whether you're going to use um, Zoom, GoToMeeting, Microsoft Teams, that's part of your arsenal, or what I call your sales tool belt. It's not the do all end all. It's a way to open up doors. LinkedIn, same way. You just can't get on there and just try and sell from it. You have to use it as a tool. And there are ways to develop strategies for that. There are experts out there in LinkedIn. They do a magnificent job. But my point is, and I'll leave you with this thought, and somebody can challenge me and call me at 678-624-0895. But sooner or later, my friends, this is going to come into play. It's called a telephone. You will have to pick it up and you will have to engage. With that, I'm going to leave everybody here today, wishing you a very successful Wednesday. Feel free to join us, and I'll put it up here for the last time. It is at 11 a.m. I know it's vastly approaching here in about 2 hours, but I just felt compelled to get on here and offer an invitation to come take a journey with sales concepts and enjoy yourself through the process. As I always kiddingly say, sit back, have some popcorn, drink a cup of coffee, and enjoy the show. With that, again, this was Mark's message, Peachtree Corners, Georgia, the peachiest place on the planet, and sales concepts. So give us a call, check us out. I will see you perhaps maybe later today on Mark's message and talk about some other things as well. Remember, be a leader, be a friend, most important of all, be of service. Have a successful Wednesday. Catch you.